Are you curious about what it takes to have a long career in the music industry? If so, you've come to the right place. What's happening, Roadies? Thank you so much for tuning in this week and coming on back. It is great to have you here. We are kicking out some awesome interviews, and I'm so super psyched to have you. If you have not subscribed to the show already, there's a link in the description. Go ahead and click it. You can sign up and get a new episode every week, like this one right here with my man Rusty Harmon, former manager for Hootie and the Blowfish. The guy has been around the world several times. He knows what he's talking about. He is the current founder and owner of Their Music Group, an incredible music label based out of Nashville. You're going to want to listen because in this video, he lays out his steps and plan for how people can have a long, fruitful career in the music industry. If you like this short clip and you want to hear more, again, definitely click that link in the description. You can check out the full episode with Rusty. We get into a lot of great stuff about his time with Hootie and the Blowfish, how he got there, how he started, and again, many more great tips about how you should compose yourself if you're looking to grow a following in the music industry, and I think in any industry for that matter. So go ahead and click that link in the description. Hit the like button if you got something out of this video. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notified when new ones come out. Thank you so much. Here we go with Rusty Harmon.
Call yourself a roadie?
It's nice to hear and feel that even after, the time you spent with Hootie and the Blowfish, and then with all the artists you have now, you still have, you really kind of came alive there. You still have that spark of the love and the passion for what you do and for seeing, as you said, everything from load in to load out. I'm the same way, right? That's why I started this show, because I love the whole inner workings of the whole thing. And, just watching, like you said, load in, load out, the setting up the merch, how they do it, why they do it, where they do it, when in the timing that things happen. And like you said, how people interact, that's a big part of it for sure. And it's cool that you still have, after all these millions of miles under your belt, you still have the passion to start a new label, and you still have the passion and the desire to go out and hang out at shows.
Yeah, well, thank you for recognizing that, because that is, first and foremost, I'm a music guy. I love live music. I love recording. I love recorded music. I'm a fan. I also, I'm a fan of breaking and developing bands. It's something that the good Lord gave me, everybody's got their own little set of qualities that make them successful in their careers, and I feel like one of my qualities is that I'm not afraid of rolling up your sleeves and getting busy with the day-to-day grind of developing and breaking a band. So this label suits me nicely. I can handle and look forward to the time when I've got another hugely successful act. Obviously, I've been there, and I know how to navigate those waters as well. I just think that there's a lot of people in Nashville and LA and New York. There's a lot of people that see the prize and they think that's where I want to be, and they don't really stop to think, well, how did you get the prize? Like what did you have to do to get there? And I think a lot of people, just like with a lot of things in life, a lot of people want to take shortcuts and try to get that magic bullet that's going to just all of a sudden, if Spotify just adds me to this one playlist, then I'm going to be a big star. Or if I could just get on this tour, then everything. And man, it's like I always tell all the artists I work with, playlisting is not a marketing strategy. And if you're waiting for somebody else to turn the table and make your career successful, you're just not doing it the right way. You've really got to take care of everything that you can take care of yourself, and control the things that you can control in the business, and take advantage of all of those opportunities that come your way. Return every phone call, answer every email. Stop and say hi, sign every autograph. Stop and say hi to the people that want. It doesn't matter how tired you are. People think, I just played a 90-minute set, and now I want to go to the bus and I want to have a drink and and there's 30 people sitting in the room wanting to say hi to you, and you're thinking that you're hot and sweaty and tired, and my God, you just worked 90 minutes. I mean, there's, how many people do you know work 12 hours a day, and you're complaining because you had a 90-minute set in a 100-degree room? Go out there and shake some hands, man. So
yeah, right, exactly. No, yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, but it's got to be harder these days too, or I know it's harder these days because of things like social media, right? And Instagram and whatnot. Like the prize, as you said, as you called it, is in your face all the time. And so that's what people see. It's rare to see the grind and to know about the grind that goes in before it. And, like so many bands, right, that start out in a van and are just grinding it out night after night all over the country, all over the world, and then make it. So it's got to be tough, I'm imagining, with some younger artists to temper that desire. Say, listen, there's a lot that goes in before you get to that point, right?
Right. Well, and if like you say, if this is the prize, if that's what you think that is success, is just looking at the numbers on your handheld device or your computer, man, I'm sorry. Then you just, in my opinion, I think you've missed what is important in terms of being a successful and a career musician. Social media is short-lived. It's of the moment. It is. I'm not saying it's not important. Obviously, it's very important. It's a big part of what I do every day. It's just not the prize. Sure. In my opinion, the prize is sold-out arenas, sold-out stadiums, and it doesn't have to be stadiums, but sold-out clubs. I don't care what size club you're playing. If you're selling it out, and if you're playing a 150-seater, and it's sold out, and those fans go crazy, and they're singing the words to all your songs and buying your merchandise after, to me, that's the prize. Likes on Twitter and views on TikTok and things like that. Those are fleeting and very of the moment. And if that's what your main goal is, then just be a YouTube influencer. You don't need to record music and put it out. If that's really all you want to do is gather as many Facebook likes and Twitter likes and TikTok views as you can. Again, that's part of it, but that's not the ending goal, in my opinion. Yeah.
And so because the other part of that too, right, is to have a career and not just think about the one big record, which is be nice for anybody, but the career of great songs, the career of great shows and a legacy. How do you try to impart that to people to think longer term, see the forest for the trees and whatnot?
Yeah, I think it comes down to like what do you want to do with your life, and what do you want your career to be? Do you want to be a career musician? And I know that when you're 22 years old, it's kind of hard to think about that because you're so caught up and consumed with what's happening in front of you at any given moment. It's kind of hard to start thinking about a long-term career. But if you truly love music, and if you've spent your life consuming music and practicing music, and if you're a songwriter, and if you've written your first 100 songs and kind of thrown them away and started from scratch, and if you've got a publishing deal, if you've recorded music, if you've been in a studio and recorded music and then heard it on some medium, whether the radio or one of the DSPs or at a friend's house on a CD player, I mean, whatever. If you've done any of that, and if at some point in your career, in doing those things, if you said, "Wow, this is awesome, and I would like to keep doing this," well, if that's what you want to do, then I say, okay, you want a career in the music industry, and if you want a career in the music industry, then great. Let's talk about your career. Let's talk about what you can do. How are you going to be the most professional at whatever it is that if you're an engineer, if you're a producer, if you're a booking agent, if you're a manager, if you're A&R at a record label, if you are pitching songs at a publishing company, whatever it is, whatever your career in the music industry is going to be, you've got to have a passion. You've got to wake up every day saying, okay, how am I going to improve my situation today? But not only what are you going to do today, it's what's your 3-month plan, what's your 6-month plan, and what's your 2-year plan. And then, big picture, where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years? And I tell, whenever I meet bands for the first time and we start talking about, from a label perspective, whenever I sign a new artist and we do our onboarding meeting, one of the questions that I always ask everybody is, find a band that's where you think you could be in about a year. And the Rolling Stones don't count. You can't tell me that you're going to be, a 60-year band in a year. Tell me realistically, who's got numbers that you think you could achieve in a year, who's touring in venues that you think you could achieve in a year. Go look, find that band. Is it the Avett Brothers? Who is it? Find a band that you could be in a year, and then study what they did. Go be fans of that band. Look and see, talk to their management team. Look at their booking agency. Go on their website and find out the shows that they play. Look at the venues where they're playing. Try to find out the venues that they played before they got to that venue, because those are the places that you're going to need to play. Those are the things that you're going to need to do if you want to be where that band is a year from now. And every day, and this kind of, I think this is a really siloed way of looking at this. When I was managing, and I'm happy to say I'm management free now. I'm 100% focused on running a label. But when I was managing, I would tell my bands, look, if you go to Bridgeport, is Bridgeport, Connecticut? That's right. That's a town, correct? If you go to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and you show up at the venue and you load in, go to sound check, go back to your hotel or hang out in the van or whatever you're going to do, and then go back in when it's time to perform, load out and go home or whatever you do. If that's all you do in a market, you're not serious about your craft, because you should, when you go and play a show, I don't care if you play 2 nights a month, or 1 night a month. If you go play a show, or if you're playing 5 nights a week, if you go play a show, you have to make an impact on that community. You go and you load in and you sound check, and then ask the people that are there to help you load in, or the bartenders or the club owner or whoever. Say, hey, where's a record store in town? What's a cool coffee shop where other musicians hang out? Where is there a guitar center here? Where can I go and meet some people that might like to? Is there a college? Where's the closest college radio station? Go find these places and introduce yourself. Give them your music. Talk about your band. Give them talk to them and give them tell them where you are on Spotify or the other DSPs. Have them listen to your music. Put them on the guest list. Invite them to the show that night. If you're showing up in a market where you've never been before, you probably got 4 or 5 or 6 passes or get names on the guest list that you can give to somebody. If you go, here's what I say all the time: if you go meet a barista at a cool local coffee shop, well, I've always kind of thought that baristas were pretty cool people, and they probably got some pretty cool friends, and they probably like music. So you go find that guy, introduce yourself to him, tell him about your show, put him on the guest list. What's he going to do the next day? He's going to tell all his friends about the band that he went to see last night. He's going to start telling his girlfriend or whatever. He's going to start telling people about how cool you were because you came in and hung out with him and introduced him to your music, invited him to your show, put him on the guest list, buy him a beer. You want to get him talking, tell him you bought him a beer. Now all of a sudden in Bridgeport, Connecticut, you've got at least 20 or 30 hardcore fans because he's going to go make those fans for you. And this is not like sign up to be on my street team and I'll send you a flyer that you can post on the internet, on your Facebook page. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about shaking hands with people and walking into record stores and walking into coffee shops and walking to a college student union at lunchtime. Pull out your guitar. I've told bands before, man, go to the student union and get your guitars out and start playing acoustic until somebody makes you leave. You want to get fans. That's how you'll make new fans. And you don't have to worry about people paying $15 to see you play that night. If you go play for free at the college student union at lunchtime, there's going to be 500 people that walk past you and see you. And if 10% of them, if 50 people stop and listen to you and ask you what the name of your band is, that's 50 new people that know who you are in a new market. Do that at every market you go to. So back to my point, if you're a career musician, if this is what you want to do, you've got to work. You've got to make this a job. You've got to think about, like, it's not just the 90 minutes on stage. It's not just writing a song. It's not just recording. It is everything else. And people want to roll their eyes whenever you say this. I'll tell you who the greatest example of this in the world is Taylor Swift. Like that, what that girl did when she was 14 and 15 and 16 and 17 years old, she literally, I was talking earlier about return every phone call and answer every email. I mean, that girl, man, she remembered people's names when she met them. She wrote letters to promoters thanking them for shows. Like the things that she did were so amazing and so instrumental in her growth and the way that she grew her career. So I think there's just a lot of lessons to be learned there. There's a lot you can do yourself without your manager having to connect you with this songwriter, with getting you into this club. Like it doesn't have to be all that. It can be what do you do every day by yourself when you're on the road playing a show.
So there you go, guys. Rusty Harmon's steps and advice to having a long career, not being a flash in the pan, but having a long career in the music industry. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter over at Roadiefreeradio.com. Pick up some merch while you're there. And my friends, in the meantime, y'all be safe out there.